everyone. So I know I normally don't do tutorials, but I really think that since I've been working at Chanel, I really wanted to kind of give you guys some tips that we do at the counter all the time to people. Also because I have really great neighbors over at MAC, because we're all about looking professional and very pulled together. But I also learned a lot of tips from MAC because, you know, they're artists, so they're makeup artists. So I really wanted to incorporate artistry and looking really professional and clean and put together. So this is going to be basically how to look flawless and amazing from start to finish, and so that's going to include skincare and makeup. So I already started by cleansing my face, and so what you're really going to want to do is, I have oily skin, like my skin is super oily, so I make sure that I use a really effective cleanser that gets all the oil out of my skin and like completely leaves me squeaky clean. And like a little bit of tightness and dryness just means that like you've removed all the oil, and then it'll make your makeup go on even better, and then you're not going to get oily throughout the day. So I use this Origins Checks and Balances. Origins is also one of my neighbors, and I just love all of their products, and I love how it's all natural and there's no chemicals in it at all. So I use the Origins Checks and Balances Frothy Face Wash, and I just use a crap ton of this because a little bit like doesn't go very far. You have to use quite a lot of it, and so as I massage this into my face, it really gets kind of like a nice lather, almost like a shampoo. And so, you know, shampoo obviously really removes all the excess oil from your hair, and so I was like, perfect, it does the same thing for your face. So that's what I did to cleanse. So I did that. I'm also going to skip moisturizer because moisturizer just makes you oily. Do the typical contour where, you know, you use light and dark values. Have really kind of come to appreciate that look. I really think it shows a true artist and like someone who can place dark and light values on someone's face where they would naturally have contours and highlights. It's so much harder than it looks, and so like, you know, props to those people that do that, because it's like, it's completely like really difficult to do. So, you know, I'm not quite on that level yet, but I'm really going to give it a try so you guys can see that, like, you know, even someone who's like, you know, yes, I am a professional, but I still am like just as much of a viewer and follower of all these makeup brands as you guys are. I wanted to show you that anyone can do it, and that it can be done with, you know, absolutely anyone, no matter what skin type you have. Also, what I'm gonna do before I even start is I'm gonna do some primer. Ooh, this is by Tarte. It's silicone free, and you don't want silicone. Silicones will just make you break out. Silicone is also just gonna make you oilier, so, you know, definitely avoid that. So I'm gonna use about that much. I'm trying not to go crazy, you know what I mean? Like, too much primer is not good. So I'm gonna use that much, and I'm just gonna really massage this all over my face, so that's nice and blended in and smoothed in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt that contour highlight perfect Kim Kardashian flawless look. I think what he does is he places the contour and then the highlight, or the highlight and then the contour. Oh god, if I do it the wrong way, it's gonna completely mess it up. I don't remember the order. Okay, well, I'm just gonna start with highlighter to be safe. This is the Ben Nye Professional Clown series. This is Clown White Light. So it's light because it's white, and so that's what light means. So what I'm gonna use is a sponge because I really wanna place the product where I want, and I don't, you know, a brush would just mess that up. So just place this where I would have contours. So we'll do some of that here, or excuse me, highlights. I want to highlight my face. So we'll do it on the tops of the cheekbones so I can really get that lifted look. Do it down the center of my my forehead and my nose. From here, some on the chin, the jawline, because I really want to accentuate my cheekbone. So we've got that on. Now don't be scared because we are gonna blend this in. Don't worry, you're not gonna look crazy like this. Okay, so then dark values. I really want to contour, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same sponge, and I'm going to use this cream foundation. Let's see, along the contours. Oh, the hairline, that's going to be really important. I really want to shape my hairline. The chin. I hope the camera's picking up on this. I can't tell if it's in focus or not. And then I'm going to go in with a Beauty Blender sponge, which is the secret to flawless makeup. Like, sponges Sorry guys, but I have to be honest, don't use brushes. It's just gonna streak your makeup. The only brush you can use for your foundation if you wanna look flawless is a buffer brush. Let me be honest, especially dry skin, like, because this really just helps to work it into your skin because there's not a lot of moisture there. The moisture from the foundation, when it's buffed in, is gonna look really good on your skin. So just buff it if you have dry skin. I'm gonna use this color, which is, it's basically the perfect match. It's perfect. It's called Nude, and you can see it has a really nice pink undertone, which is like the perfect match to my skin. And this is full coverage and extra matte, which you want. You do not want any shine. You do not want this to be sheer. It's not going to give you a flawless look. You have to do full coverage foundation. Otherwise, it's just not going to look good. You know, and I'm just looking out for you guys, you know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, since I don't have any water, I'm just going to use some hand sanitizer on the brush to get it wet. Okay, so I'm going to get the foundation, and I'm just going to do like they say and just pat it on top. It's really hard. This is really hard, so I want to make sure I do it right. And I think my contours aren't defined enough yet, so I'm going to go back in with a contouring cream and then highlight again with this highlighter. Okay, so for doing brows, you want to make sure that you use at least 3 different colors, and this is going to give you a flawless brow. The thing is, since I have dark hair, you want to make sure that your brow product, your brow pencil, has as much warmth in it, because the warmth is really going to add some color to your face. So use a dark brown that has a lot of red to it. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw a line underneath. This is going to give that look of like I just got my brows waxed. You want to use your middle dark brown color in the middle. So draw lines, just continuous lines, and really extend the brow out, because brows should start right here and then they should go out to here. So the angle, I think, needs to be, okay, so I got a lot more to go. That's the rule of brows. That's why everyone with good eyebrows looks so good. It's because they're so long. That's why Kim Kardashian looks so good. She's like the ultimate beauty, like, muse for everyone. And then you'll want to use your light color in the front, because you don't want your brows to be too dark towards the center, because that's just going to shrink the appearance of your face. So it's okay if your brow pencil color or brow product doesn't match your actual eyebrow or your hair color, because we're creating dimension here, you know? Really love the whole eye trend where people like create works of art on their eye. I love that. I think that is like amazing. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil in Milk, the #1 tool for everything. So you can actually just use this as like an eye primer, and it's just going to be super long lasting, so you don't have to prime your eyes underneath at all. But if you're going to, you have to use the Urban Decay primer potion. That's like the best one out there. So the first thing I want to do is define my crease using a taupe shade. I love taupe. It's so amazing what taupe can do. It's like the #1 color you need. So I'm going to use this one here, which is a really, really nice taupe. Like, this is like the perfect taupe color. So what I'm going to do is use a brush, a Sigma brush. You have to use Sigma brushes. Best deal out there, like, and I'll put a code below where you can get 10% off. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to define this crease with taupe. Almost a taupe, it's really close to taupe. And another taupe, just to give it dimension. Oh, tap off your brush before you apply eyeshadow, because otherwise it's just going to end up all over your face. So just tap it off, and then you can apply. Liquid eyeliner. And I'm just going to start to sculpt out a really interesting graphic shape. And it's kind of hard to explain, so you just have to watch and see, and then you can just play this back and kind of replicate it. Use the lash directly from the container, because that's the shape that's created for your eye. Like, that's why you have to make sure you buy lashes that have the shape already perfect. lips, get a lot of glue because you really need it to hold. And then don't use like tweezers or anything because that's just like, that's an extra step. And like if you're trying to be flawless, it's gotta be effortless too, you know? So you're just gonna really stick them on there. Try to put it close to your lashes. Okay. 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 The first thing you want to make sure you do is outline your shape. Because the only way that you're gonna make sure that you get the longest layer out of your lips is trace the shape. So it's not, so that way the lipstick doesn't bleed and feather, you know? So, okay, we've got our peachy pink on. I used a shade that was a little bit darker. It's still peachy pink, but I wanted it to be a little darker just so I can give my lips dimension. So, just apply it straight from the tube because if you use a lip brush, it's just gonna smear the product everywhere. Again, we're sticking with the theme. We've got our taupes, our neutral taupes, we've got our graphic liner. We don't want to complicate the look. So I'm just gonna use some really nice peachy pink gloss. That's just gonna completely finish this look off. Okay, so just apply it to the center of the lips for some fullness. Okay, so blush. I'm going to set my face first with powder because the more powder, the more likely things are going to stay on your face. So I'm going to use a buffing brush and some full coverage powder foundation. I'm going to just start buffing that on. You have to make sure that you're buffing. Otherwise the product's just not going to stay. And that's the last thing we want. Peachy pink shade. And it's from Tarte, so it's going to last a long time. So peachy pink to go with the lips and the taupe eyes. And then this, you're going to want to make sure you buff the blush on. And start on the apple smile. And put it into your hairline. I don't feel like we highlighted and contoured enough. So, I'm going to use this from Sleek. It's called the Contour Kit. And do you see how this is like the perfect contour color because it's like that perfect red brown? That's how you know it's going to look like a natural contour. So, you know what? If you can use, I realized the perfect highlight product to use, duh. How did I not think of this? Where did it go? Oh, here we go. It's called High Beam from Benefit, and I love it. It's like the perfect kind of beautiful peachy pink shade to go with the blush and the lips. You see a theme? We're kind of like keeping it simple on the face, you know? So I'm going to put some of this on. It's like the perfect shade for my skin tone. If you are any lighter or darker, you can't use it though. Sorry. And then we're just going to buff that in. Okay. Amazing, amazing. And then you're gonna wanna set the whole thing with powder. You know what, I just ran out of my banana powder. I wish I hadn't. Do like, if you do one layer of powder and then do another one, just gonna make your makeup last longer. And that way you don't have to touch up throughout the day because you already have that extra layer of powder on. And set, you could buff this in, but I've, you know, all my buffing brushes are dirty. My Sigma F80s are dirty, so I have to clean them all first. So let me teach you the backstage secret. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna teach you the secret. Are you ready? You can't tell anyone. Shh. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Psych!